So let's get the little amplifier unboxed then. Now, from the box, you can't really tell what is inside. If this was on a retail store shelf, you wouldn't have a clue what's inside it. We've got Transmit Nature Music. I imagine they use this box for maybe quite a lot of their other products. Really, the only information we know is that this is black and there is also a silver version available. No specifications whatsoever. Everything does look to be well packaged in here. Bend that out of the way. So there appears to be here what looks to be just, you know, if you're not happy, if you're happy, let them know who you can contact. 24 months warranty as well. Sort of a quick start manual guide, but it's an amplifier. You're going to get a QC pass certificate and your guarantee card. But yeah, this does look to be well packaged, even though the outside of the packaging doesn't give us a clue to what it is. Everything is well packaged in here. So we have the cable that goes into your power supply. I forget what these are called, and I always just call them PlayStation 2 cables. Certainly looks a little bit janky. I have always, when I've received cables like this, maybe on its mass produced sort of cheaper Chinese products, have generally replaced these cables. I've even seen reviews, not just on Fosi, just on loads of different mini amps reviews, that you should probably replace this cable. And here is the power supply. Focus here. So this is using a 19 volt power supply. There's an LED indicator light that will probably come on there as well. Then we have the Bluetooth antenna. This is Bluetooth 4.2. It's all very well packaged. And then we have the amplifier, which we will take an uppy closey look on the desk in a minute. So this is 50 watts per channel. It features the TPA 3116D2 chip. It's a Class D chip. The power supply weighs more than the amplifier. Right, let's take this down to the desk and we can have a closer look at the amp. Here's the amplifier, and as you can see, we've got a Coke can there. This thing is super compact. So at the front here we have a volume dial. Now obviously you're not going to hear this, but there is a slight click at every turn. I can feel a slight click there. Got Fosi audio on the front. BT20C. Got the power switch. I love these switches. Is it weird that I'm into switches? And here you have bass and treble, but there is no click. One thing I would have liked to have seen is sort of a click, or at the very minimum just had a click right in the middle. So maybe when you get to the middle. Now as for the front of the unit, you are going to find it hard to see it, but if you look super close, these lines are not perfectly machined out. But again, you're going to have to be right close to see this. Also here, again, you probably won't see it, but there's a slight little blemish on the aluminium here. As for the dimensions, so this is 33mm in height, or 1.3 inches, 118.5mm in length, or 4.67 inches, and it is 98mm in width, or 3.85 inches. And the DAC that they sell is exactly the same dimensions, so it's going to sit nice on top of it. So let's have a look at the rear then. So here we have the speaker outputs, 50 watts per channel, and we have the DC input as well. Now you can put banana connection cables in here. They go in fine. But as for the speaker wire holes, this might be quite hard for you to see. As you can see, that hole is a little short. So the speaker wire I was using there with the banana connectors on is got 4mm oxygen free copper, and that does not quite fit in there. So ideally you're going to want to use 2.5mm if you're not using banana connectors. Then we have the left and right phono outputs. As you can see, all gold connections. Got gold connections everywhere on this. And then we have the connections for the Bluetooth. This features Bluetooth 4.2. As you can see, we have the aerial on the back. Now the Bluetooth switch to switch between Bluetooth or auxiliary is on the back. I would have preferred to have seen it on the front, but because you know it's under the aerial, it's easy to find. So the first thing I wanted to look at was Fosi's claim that there wasn't any feedback sound from this. Now one thing you'll find with a lot of cheaper speakers and cheaper amplifiers is when you're not playing any audio, so when you're not playing like video or even music, which is what you're predominantly going to be playing, is that there will be a slight hum sound coming from the unit. Now even with the other speaker cable and with the SKW speaker wire, There is literally nothing. If I put my ear right up close to it, I can hear a little something, but that's no different than higher end amplifiers that I run in my lounge setup. You know, you're going to hear that little bit of feedback. And when you max it all the way out, that slight, such a tiny little hum isn't any worse. So you're not going to notice that. Even when I've just been sat at my desk normally, you will not notice it. If you put your ear right up next to it, you will. So their claims that this doesn't make any feedback sound are bang on. And that is probably one reason why you may want to consider this over a lot of other budget mini amplifiers. So it's time to do the speaker sound test then, and I'm going to come back with my final thoughts and feelings once that's done.
In a shadow drew again. You sit alone, alone.
You know, we came here to get you. Check it out, yeah. Hey yo, I've heard it all before, but yo, before we heard it all, before we learned to Dougie and before we learned to ball, there used to be a thing. I think they called it a song, and you'd hear it anytime you turn the radio on. You hear
So there was the sound test then, and honestly, for £60, this thing is a little beast. Now, I left the bass and the treble in their center position for the test, but one thing I have been using is I've been turning the bass down just a touch. These Wharfdales kick out a serious amount of bass for their size, but it does get a little bit muddy, so I have been using it just to tweak the bass down a little bit. As for volume, I have never gone past halfway with this amplifier. I've found no need to. This thing would power some big floor standers. I haven't actually tested it on my floor standers yet, but I mean, we're only at halfway, so there is plenty of volume left for some floor standers. Now, volume is good, but it doesn't matter how much volume you've got. If the sound isn't good, then there's no point. And the sound from this little thing, the chip in this, I am blown away. For £50–60, the build quality, fit and finish, absolutely blown away. The soundstage coming out of these speakers sounds just absolutely fantastic. Like, one thing that the Diamonds excel at is their mid-range, and it is all good on here. Like, I plugged them into my hi-fi downstairs, then came back up here, then went back to the hi-fi, then came back up here. Now, they do sound nicer on my Marantz amp, but I was really struggling to find a difference plugged into this. I mean, for the price, you really can't make any complaints at it. Now, if it was £150, I mean, if this was £150, then yeah, of course you're going to say buy a bigger amplifier. What's the point in just buying a little compact amplifier? You might as well get a full fat one, tuck it under a desk somewhere, something from Marantz, Denon, Cambridge Audio. You know, I'm not going to tell you not to buy it over that. Where I think this would be really good would be if you've maybe just bought new speakers, upgraded hi-fi gear. You may want to put your old bookshelf speakers or tower speakers in another bedroom or a dining room. Pairing them with this amplifier would be perfect. Another great place I think for this little amplifier would be if you had installation speakers. If you had ceiling speakers in maybe your bathroom or your kitchen, you could have this little thing tucked away somewhere. You can use the Bluetooth. Yeah, this will work really well. But the one place where I would really recommend this little puppy, well, it's going to be to you lot, innit? My main subscribers, the PC gaming community. Honestly, I've never really rated PC speakers. Like, I've had some good PC speakers. I'm not saying there's never been any good PC speakers. I'm not saying Logitech and Creative do not make good speakers. Like, they do make very good speakers, but I always feel like I like stereo sound. I like music from hi-fi, and I know a lot of you will as well. So then you skip PC speakers and you think, oh, I'll get active studio monitors. And again, I've owned lots of pairs of active studio monitors, and I love listening to music on studio monitors because you can hear all the detail. You hear all these sounds that you've never heard before, but the sound from those is a little bit flat and it isn't for everyone. So I think actually buying something like this and up to £100 pair of speakers, you can actually get the Wharfdale Diamond 9.1s for £120. I've got the Diamond 9.1s downstairs paired with this. Sound absolutely fantastic, and I think you would prefer that over spending £200 to $200 on some studio monitors. So that leads me over to the pros and cons then, and I was talking really positive then, so you're thinking I probably haven't got any cons, but man, this is a full setup. I always find some cons, so let's start with some cons then. Like I said, the machining is very, very good, but it's just a couple of little places. It's not quite right. There was that little blemish on the side here. I mean, you've got to be looking at it like that, but it's there. The other thing as well, the cable that I always forget the name of, you know, the one that plugs into the AC adapter, the PlayStation 2 type cable. It looks like a little figure of 8. That cable, obviously, I'd say get rid of it. It just doesn't look like a very good cable. I can't see anywhere where I can replace the fuse in it either. So for me, that cable's got to go. What else? Oh yeah, didn't know where center is. We don't know where center is. Obviously, you can see center, but it'd be nice to have a little click so you can just find center. The other con for me, I know a lot of you are going to love that this has got Bluetooth, and I haven't really talked about the Bluetooth because I don't like Bluetooth. Now, the Bluetooth 4.2 receiver in this is very good. The aerial is very good. The range is as good as they claim it is. I've been using this in my garden. I went out to my garden, and sort of when I had people in the house, my housemate and his girlfriend was here. My girlfriend was also here doing stuff. And I couldn't hear any interference. I couldn't hear it cutting out. I just sort of maxed out the volume so I could still hear it in my garden. So the range is very good. I don't really mind the switch being at the back. So like I said, it is under the aerial. The problem is for me, I don't like the audio quality of it. It sounds good, and most of you are probably going to really like it. But for me, as soon as you plug cables in and switch over to cables, it sounds so much better. So if you were going to use this, like I said, as like with installation speakers, maybe tucked out of the way, and you want to have it, you know, wireless audio, I would plug a Chromecast audio into it. I plugged my Chromecast audio into it, and it just smashed it. It sounded so much better than the Bluetooth. There is just such a difference. So that's my only cons. What about the pros? Like I said, sounds absolutely fantastic. Super compact. Got the all 24 karat gold connections at the back. That was another little con as well. You couldn't put fixed speaker wire in it. 2.5mm speaker wire, but you can put banana connections in it. No humming. No humming. Massive pro. Absolutely no humming from this unit. You turn the volume all the way up. Like I said, you put your ear right next to the speaker. You can hear something. Sat where I am here, turned round, you can hear nothing. I have bought much more expensive audio hardware, whether it's PC speakers, amplifiers, powered speakers that cost a lot more than this, and there is a hum. You're not playing any music and there is a hum. And there is nothing worse than a hum, because it just makes you hate what you've bought, and then you get rid of it and you buy something else. Would I get rid of this and buy something else? Definitely not. I would recommend that you buy it. There's an affiliate link over in the description as well, so make sure you use that. Anyway, that's it from me today. If you like the video, leave a like. If you dislike the video, leave a dislike. And if you really like the video, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I'm Troy from The Full Setup, and I'll be back with some more videos very soon.